Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it. With your eyes closed, just get a sense of tension, stress, or worries leaving your body in your outward breath. That's right. As you breathe in, just get a sense that as you breathe in, more and more of that resourceful relaxation is going in. And as you exhale, feelings of tension are leaving your body. And I don't know if that tension is going to feel like it's coming from your forehead, from around your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw. All I know is that your body, your mind already knows where tension is, where you don't want it to be. And as you breathe in and breathe out, just get a sense that you're giving permission to release that tension now. So much so that on the very next breath, you can breathe in deeper than you normally do and exhale for slightly longer than you normally do. And you already know that you can feel that tension leaving your body. And as the tension leaves, notice that good feeling enables almost a snowball effect of yet more muscles being allowed to just relax. Perhaps the neck, the shoulders, around the rib cage. Relax the muscles around the throat, the vocal cords, so that as you breathe in and breathe out, the breath is effortlessly deeper. And as you exhale, notice that more and more of that feeling of tension is just leaving your body. That's it. And notice that your body has got some of those natural reactions to feeling relaxed. Increasing rate of swallowing, the desire to yawn, feeling to position your body in a more comfortable place and stretch if you need to. And by doing these things, or even just thinking about doing these things, in fact, isn't it interesting that the idea of yawning creates exactly the same neurotransmitters as actually yawning, giving you that feeling of just feeling deeper and deeper, relaxed. And as your body relaxes, just allow your mind to open up a gateway to your subconscious mind, that part that knows how to regulate your body. You don't have to think about how often you need to breathe. You can't make your heartbeat beat faster or slower. Although you can consciously blink, 99.9% of the time you just blink when you need to. And therefore your unconscious mind knows exactly what your body needs. And I want you to accept that right now, your body knows how much you need to eat in order to maintain your current weight. It already feels good that you don't feel hungry in the mornings, that you can eat at times of the day to enable your body to get used to the idea of burning fat for longer periods of time. I want you to get a sense that so much progress has already been made, but what if this was just laying the foundations for even more positive progress? I want you to get a sense that as you breathe in and breathe out, those final things that are blocking and getting in the way of you taking your life in exactly the direction that you want to take it are now leaving your body in your outward breath. And enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed, as your subconscious mind has got confidence that losing weight doesn't have to be stressful, that losing weight doesn't have to be a struggle, that losing weight can even be enjoyable. And there will be one part of your subconscious mind that can't comprehend how something that maybe has been stressful or a struggle in the past can now be enjoyable. But that part of your subconscious mind, I want to remember a time when you were a child and had some kind of toy that required batteries. And if you can recall a moment like that when you were a child that had a toy that needed batteries, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to get a sense that the toy itself was useless without the batteries. And then when you put the batteries in, this toy then became useful. But it was only as useful as to how much energy was in the batteries. And I want you to accept the suggestion that the energy in the battery was the vital ingredient to you having fun back then. And if you accept that suggestion to be true, let me know by nodding your head. And at this point in time, when you've accepted that the energy in the battery is exactly what you needed to have fun, enjoyment, either on your own or with people around you, I want you to get a sense that batteries are just stored energy. I want you to get a sense that the biological equivalent of a battery is your body's ability to store body fat. If you accept that to be true, let me know by nodding your head. And I wonder just how much energy you have stored in your own personal batteries. As you start thinking about what it took to recharge these batteries to begin with, as you think back to times in the past where what was required to store the batteries was simply to eat a certain type of food that is rich in energy. Perhaps refined carbohydrates or sugary foods. I want you to get a sense that your intention wasn't to gain weight back then. Your intention was simply to enjoy the food. And by enjoying the food, the side effect of enjoying that food was that because you consumed more energy than you needed, your body stored that energy in body fat cells around your body. And I want you to get a sense. Get a sense that what if it wasn't just energy that was stored in those body fat cells? What if it was the enjoyment and the fun that was also stored in those body fat cells? You were eating through pleasure, and you stored the excess energy, but also that pleasure inside your body fat cells. Think of your body fat cells as a bank account. You have the energy, but you have the pleasure stored there in your body. In the same way that money in a bank means nothing if it's never spent, I want you to get a sense that this energy and this pleasure locked in your body fat cells is a tragedy if you never put it to use. If you accept that to be true, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to get a sense that you've got thousands upon thousands of calories worth of energy and pleasure locked in your body fat cells, but only if you put it to use. I want you to imagine you've won the lottery of energy and pleasure, but it's only unlocked if you spend it. I want you to get a sense that you now have the most amazing challenge to spend 500 calories of energy and pleasure every day. There will be a time in your life where, even if you had the intention and the inclination, you might not have the health, the energy, the ability to do pleasurable things. There'll be a time in your life it will be a struggle to even walk. And yet here, now, you have that capability. And wouldn't it be lovely when you're in your 80s, 90s, or even older to look back and say to yourself, I made the most of the body I had back then, of my energy, of my ability to spend those lottery winnings of energy and pleasure. And I want you to imagine that you can see someone just like you spending those 500 calories. It's just one rule. You have to have as much fun as humanly possible in spending that 500 calories. You could spend 500 calories just by sleeping and not doing anything, but that wouldn't count. It's not active enough, and it's not fun enough. And I want you to think there are 3 different ways that you can put this energy to use. I want you to see that version of you putting that energy to use in a really low intensity way. Maybe just going for a long, enjoyable walk. Maybe see yourself doing some physical chores, but notice that that version of you is smiling while they're doing it, because sometimes what's mundane for one person can be fun for someone else. I want you to see that version of you doing something active but not strenuous. But more importantly, see yourself enjoying doing that thing. The very act of doing something physical means you are releasing not just the energy, but the pleasure and the fun in those body fat cells. Tell yourself that if it's not fun, it's not working. By making the physical activity fun, active, and enjoyable, you're creating a powerful cybernetic loop. So many people lose weight because they think naively that losing weight will make them happy, without realizing the opposite was true all along. The goal is not to lose weight to be happy. The real trick is to happily lose weight. And you've already figured out that there are so many fun things you can do that are active, that involve you being physical, and that there are different intensities to that. You can do something that is low intensity, but maybe you do that for a bit longer. Or you can see yourself doing something where you're just slightly out of breath. And maybe you see yourself doing that for about an hour. And notice that when you see that version of you doing it for an hour, every now and then, you'll want to keep on doing whatever that fun thing is. Because sometimes, isn't it the case that you've done fun things in the past that you've intended to do for just a few minutes, and because you were having so much fun, you just kept on doing that thing. Fun is a form of hypnosis, creating time distortion. So don't be surprised if the more fun you have, the longer you want to spend doing that very thing. And then imagine seeing that version of you doing something more intense. Your heart rate is higher. See yourself perhaps sweating or really out of breath. But the thing to pay attention to is the size of your smile. Remember, it's not just energy you're unlocking in those body fat cells. It's the fun, it's the pleasure that was captured at the point where that energy was locked into those body fat cells. I want you to get a sense then, what if you had pleasure at the point where you enjoyed the very food that was then stored as energy, and you get to have even more pleasure turning that energy back into experiences? I want you to try and think of a time in your life that you had an amazing memory, amazing fun, amazing experiences that did not use any energy whatsoever. As it dawns on you, every positive experience you've ever had involved an exchange of energy. You were trading in those calories for experiences. And for a while, you've thought that you have to somehow lose this weight without realizing the goal is not to lose the weight. It's to spend that stored energy in the most enjoyable, fun, pleasurable ways possible. Think about this equation. Would you rather live 50 years of amazing, vibrant experiences, or 200 years in a prison cell completely isolated? It's not the length of your life, it's the quality of your experiences. And experiences require energy. And you have thousands and thousands of stored calories of energy in body fat cells just waiting to be turned back into incredible experiences. And if you can imagine someone just like you putting all of that energy to use just as you did it as a child, using batteries and turning them into fun when you played those toys back then as a child, you can imagine someone just like you perhaps tomorrow or the day after or next week or the next month putting your biological batteries to use to have the most fun and pleasure and positive experiences as possible. Let me know by nodding your head. And then step into that version of you. It's no longer a struggle to lose weight. If putting this energy to use is something that you get to do, not have to do. And now in the first person, imagine all the different things that you can do that are low intensity. Feel like you're doing those things, but feel good when you're doing them. Your body feels good. You're creating memories, moments, experiences. And it feels even better knowing that as you're losing that weight, as you're burning those calories, you're getting to enjoy memories, moments, experiences. You're winning twice. You're losing the body fat and gaining memories and moments that when you're in your 90s, you'll look back and smile. Because then, when you're older, you might not be able to do those things, but you'll certainly be able to remember what you did when you were younger. Give a gift to a future version of yourself to having the most amazing moments, just as you did as a child, using the battery power to have fun with a toy. Now use your biological battery power to have fun moments in life. And then think of all those medium level, reasonably active things that you can do that are fun. You're no longer seeing yourself like you're someone else, but you're feeling like you're in your own body doing those things. And sometimes there might be exercise, and sometimes there might be sport, and sometimes there might be other experiences that still require you to move, but feel that you're experiencing fun, pleasure, enjoyable moments, and you're spending that lottery win of energy and pleasure. And then finally, feel how it feels to do the more intense activities. As your heart rate increases, link it to this feeling of excitement and energy and vitality. There'll be a time in your life where you won't be able to run and sprint and be active and sweat. But right now you can, and enjoy that. Enjoy it even more, knowing that as you enjoy these good experiences, you're using up that biological battery power. And in doing so, you become healthier, slimmer, leaner. You're not trying to lose weight to be happy. You're just doing fun things, and losing weight is just the side effect, the natural side effect of spending that energy and having fun, doing good things. I want you to imagine that even the world's most expensive sports car is not as valuable as a single human body. And what a waste it would be to have. Just imagine a sports car worth $10 million, locked in a garage, never allowed to ride on the road. Isn't the point of having this magnificent biological machine to use it? Your own supercar is your body, and you have a fuel tank full of energy that you get to put to use. You don't have to worry about the cost of fuel. You filled your tank years ago. Now you get to spend it. Use that full tank. Imagine the fuel tank is on full. And as you have these fun experiences, see the fuel gauge get lower and lower. And as it does so, imagine yourself getting slimmer, leaner, and healthier. And as you do so, you get to smile for two reasons. All these enjoyable experiences, and you're creating a body that makes you feel good every time you see yourself in a reflection. And if every part of your subconscious mind likes this idea of happily losing weight, enjoying using your body, treating it like the world's most expensive sports car, having fun spending that fuel that you already have in the tank, just let me know by nodding your head. And then I want you to imagine that you're driving in your own body 6 months into the future. And imagine that you wake up one day 6 months from now and you see yourself in a full-length mirror, and you realize you've spent that fuel. You've used the power in those batteries. And as you see yourself in that reflection, the weight that you've lost is a sign of all those good experiences that you've had using your body, doing the things that one day you won't be able to do. And therefore you can't help but smile every time you see yourself in the reflection. Then you get the positive emotions of pride, of creating a body shape that you're feeling proud of. You smile because of all those moments that you've used your body in a positive way. Activities, fun things, sports, moments with friends, family, people that are important to you. All these memories have been created by putting that energy to good use. But also, you smile because you get a sense of taking back an element of control over who you are and how you live your life. Turning what most people would consider a burden into an opportunity to elevate your life to a whole new level. And if you like who you see in that mirror, but also how you've evolved to change how you think about your body and how you think about energy, knowing that whenever you gain weight in the future, you just inherently know that you can lose it whenever you want and have fun while doing so. Just let me know by nodding your head. And then it's time to return to the present, as all of this is just an adventure inside your imagination, unlocking powerful resources and strategies to enable you to do something that improves the quality in your life for so many reasons. Sleep will improve, self-esteem will improve, confidence improves, health and well-being improve. You find yourself right now in the present listening to my voice as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now, as very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, optimistic, eager, just like you were back then as a child, to have the most fun from your toys by using that battery power. Only now you get to have even more fun as an adult because you've got more power in those batteries that you want to spend and put to use. You will awaken feeling highly motivated to do whatever is necessary to not just use that 500 calories a day, but to have fun while you're doing it. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.